North Korea bans keeping dogs as pets unless you plan to eat and skin them. Basically, there is a bit of a food sort situation in North Korea, which, I mean, as opposed to when, but apparently right now is getting particularly bad, bordering on a famine. Like, even recently, Kim Jong Un gave a big speech where he was crying because North Koreans aren't having babies. And the reason people don't have, the same as in North Korea as it is in anywhere else, see if there is not enough resources or time or money or food or anything like that for people to have babies, then they will not have babies. Like, it's the exact same thing in the West. Like, look at the cost of living crisis. Lots and lots of people, loads of people that I know want kids, but they're like, we're going to wait until the cost of living crisis disappears. Because for us to have a child right now is just not feasible when, if, butter to butter the bread, a loaf of bread and a little bit of butter costs about £15 and all that. And it's like, and my electricity bill was £3,000 last month because I watched the TV for about an hour. And also, in order to buy a house, I would need to work constantly every single day for 8 lifetimes. Like, of course, people aren't having kids, but in North Korea, it's bad because they're like, don't eat your pets. North Koreans risk the wrath of the regime if they keep dogs as pets, Pyongyang has decreed, warning that canines should only be kept for meat and fur. The bizarre ban was announced through the Socialist Women's Union of Korea, according to a source in South Pyongyang province, which lies north of the capital. Speaking to Daily NK, a newspaper in neighbouring South Korea, the source listed the offences that could leave dog owners in violation of the government's socialist ethos. Treating a dog as a family member who eats and sleeps with the family is incompatible with the socialist lifestyle and should be strictly avoided, they said. There's a huge difference between Western socialists and Eastern socialists. Eastern socialists will kill you. Western socialists will also kill you, but they're vegans. That's a lot of socialists are all vegans, so I don't think they would. Western socialists are vegans, so I don't think they would agree with that. Dressing dogs in clothes, as exemplified by Western celebrities like Paris Hilton, was also singled out for condemnation. The source continued, the practice of dressing up dogs as if they were humans, putting pretty ribbons in their hair, wrapping them in a blanket, and burying them when they die is a bourgeois activity. It's one of the ways wealthy people waste money in a capitalist society. Describing the regime's attitude, the source said, dogs are basically meat that's raised outside in accordance with their nature and then eaten when they die. Therefore, such behaviour is totally unsocialist and must be strictly eliminated. The regime also emphasised that the purpose of raising dogs is to collect more furs, the source said. Rising levels of dog ownership, a practice described by the authorities as carrying the stench of the bourgeoisie, reportedly motivated the new edict. And while citizens were being given the chance to deal with the matter quietly, non-compliance could trigger a mass movement to eliminate the practice, the source said. The custom of keeping pet pooches must ultimately die out, union members were warned. One dog owner described by Daily NK was reduced to tears by the announcement. What should I do with the dog I love so much? I can't just kill it, and I can't just abandon it, she reportedly said. We North Korean guy going, you are hiding good boys under the floorboards, aren't you not? Sitting there going, saying stuff like, walkies, and you just hear scurrying in the walls. And it's like, going into houses, who is a good boy? You hear them all running under Achtung. That's not funny. Dogs are going to get exterminated. Greg Scaliato, executive director for the Committee of Human Rights in North Korea, fucking hell. That thing. So that's a thing that exists. I don't think they get much done, which documents the atrocities of the Kim regime, said it was a ludicrous decree. He said the Kim regime criminalises normal behaviour, including visiting a relative in a neighbouring village without a travel permit, crossing the border without regime approval, or possessing a religious book. Does anyone remember like 2020 to about 2022? Did anyone remember that? Yeah, criminalizing normal behavior. Does anybody remember street preachers getting arrested up and down this island? I'm just saying, the ongoing crackdown on pet dog ownership as non socialist behaviour, this attempt to break the multi-millennial human canine bond by ideological decree, is the epitome of ludicrous interdiction. It is, dogs have been man's best friend for a very, very long time. According to the source in South Pyongyang, this practice of keeping dogs as pets started small in North Korea in the early 2000s, when they were usually guard dogs, because obviously if you've got like a working dogs, obviously, in fact, that's originally what dogs were. No one was keeping them as pets. Like the working part came first. Oh, hey, these guys can be trained and they're actually very good at tracking down, stalking, and cornering prey. That they were work dogs first, but then obviously the tribes people like to decorate them with little collars and fucking pet them and play with them and shit like that. I mean, the work stuff came first, but then the pet stuff came afterwards. But still, I would understand it. If you've got a flock of sheep and you want to protect them from wolves, then yeah, that's what you do. They said there have always been families who had cats to catch mice. Yeah, that's the main reason cats were so prolific all over the world. But there weren't many families with dogs. But that number has gradually increased, and recently there's been a noticeable rise in foreign breeds of dogs, such as Pomeranians and Shih Tzus, which used to be a rare sight in North Korea. Though dog meat is eaten in both Koreas, it's become controversial in the South, and the Seoul government passed a law in January banning its production and sale. A dog meat soup known as Dangokigok sorry, is sometimes served to foreign visitors in the north. That's horrible. I wouldn't eat dog. Absolutely would not eat dog. I've got two dogs that I love very much. And I wouldn't eat them because of the master race, after all. But, yeah, this is the problem in North Korea. Everyone likes to fucking chin him, going like that. Oh, Kim Jong-un's doing this. He's not letting people travel to the next town over, 15-minute cities. He's not letting people leave the country without permission, vaccine mandates in order to enter nations or even exit the nation. They're banning religious books. You literally can't preach the Bible in the street without getting arrested. Like, that's the thing is funny, it's like the Spider-Man meme of the West pointing at the East. It's the thing I've said before, we're getting to the point where we're no different. We're genuinely no different. That's why everyone's like, what would you do if Russia invaded? Nothing. Literally nothing. It's a choice because it's a choice between a shit sandwich or a shit sandwich, right? Russia at least might let us keep a little bit of our nationalism, whereas nationalism essentially in Britain has been completely outlawed. Or if they can't find a reason to arrest you for it, they'll definitely get you fired from your job or kicked out your university or blah blah blah. Because yeah. So I mean, we're sitting here right now going, how terrible is that? North Korea with its fucking dumb laws. You know what? Give us 10 years.